2 अक्टूबर 2022 तक पूरा करने का लक्ष्य है। मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय रेलवे मंत्री जी से निवेदन करता हूं कि इस परियोजना के बचे हुए काम को समय से पूरा करें और परियोजना में आवास और शहरी विकास मंत्रालय के अंतर्गत आने वाले ठाणे स्मार्ट सिटी लिमिटेड द्वारा मिलने वाली 50% निधि जल्द से जल्द उपलब्ध करने हेतु और परियोजना से संबंधित रुकावटों को भी जल्द से जल्द पूरा करने की संबंधित मध्य रेलवे विभाग को जरूरी दिशा निर्देश देने की कृपा करें। धन्यवाद।
श्री के सुरेश जी।
Thank you, sir. Sir, the impact of the raging war in Ukraine on the lives of Indian students and other citizens remain a humanitarian and ethical issue to be dealt by the government as they have survived a war and are victims of the war due to loss of education, abrupt halt in studies and uncertain future, compounded by looming debt traps of families who took loans from securing the future of their children. Sir, the government must devise and establish a comprehensive policy for ensuring the future of students and guarantee their education to be unaffected and compensation granted to the students for their losses and their emotional, physical well-being restored. Thus, the government announcement that students who return from the Ukraine will be able to complete their education in India after screening test, and this entire process must be constricted in a student-friendly manner, where the condition of students who are suffering trauma must be given consideration. The majority of students who have returned from Ukraine, their families are staring the significant debits, and by taking note of the situation, that is an act of war, which neither the student nor their families could foresee and is absolutely unexpected. By taking this fact into consideration, their education loan must be waived. The students who have faced emotional trauma must be provided with a specialized care to help them overcome the terrifying experience they had to face the battle zone. The students must also be given supporting hand by the government to find their own livelihood. By sensing the shortcoming in coordination and evacuation mission, the government must appoint a student welfare wing in every embassy and consular office of Indian foreign countries that will be function round clock and master control room to be set up the External Affairs Ministry headquarters as policy intervention mechanism for every eventuality arising against the Indian students. So, therefore, I would like to request through you, sir, Honorable External Affairs Minister, come forward the House to make a statement in this regard. Thank you, sir.
Shri Bellana Chandrasekhar ji.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, sir. I stand here to raise the important issue pertaining to Pondur Kadi, sir. The Pondur town is located in the Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh. For several decades, the Weaver families belongs to backward Padmasali and Devanga communities in Pondur have been spinning Khadi. Therefore, the Khadi is a popularly known as Pondur Khadi. The Pondur Khadi has shown as its mark during the Indian freedom movement. The Khadi became the favorite handmade garment of Mahatma Gandhi. Fabrics and Pondur village are spun using the special variety of indigenous red and heel cotton. This cotton is mostly brought from Nimalavalsa village in the Laver Mandal of Srikakulam district. Moreover, weavers used to single spindle for spinning the fabrics. The usage of both red cotton and a single spindle for spinning the fabric makes Pondur Khadi garments unique in terms of quality and quantity. The geographically indication could help the Pondur Khadi gain prominence in the domestic and international market and boost exports of the fabric while providing legal protection. Further, I wish to inform that Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister for Finance, visited Pondur and conveyed her satisfaction and about Pondur Khadi. Hence, I request the Minister of Commerce and Industry to take steps towards issuing a geographical identification tag for Pondur Khadi. The geographical identification will help 2022, there are 9.13 lakhs total registered EV vehicles in India. Among the total EVs sold in 21-22, the share of two-wheelers was the highest at 49%, followed by three-wheelers at 45%. As for Bureau of Energy Efficiency, a total of 1,028 public charging stations have been installed throughout the country by January 2022. And the gap in the number of availability public charging stations to the number of registered EVs is very high. 9 mega cities like Surat, Pune, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai account for more than 900 stations, creating a disparity among cities across the state. For example, Tirupati of Andhra Pradesh, with a floating population of 5.8 crores per annum, is not having single public charging station, which is much useful for the people. I would therefore request the government to expedite the process of providing accessibility to charging infrastructure and solve the issue of fragmented charging stations in India, especially in Tirupati of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me.
श्रीमती सुप्रिया सुले जी।
Stand here today as the Ministry of Commerce. The wholesale price index from November 2021 rose exponentially by 14.21%, sir. And due to that, the food prices and the fuel prices have really gone up. The diesel, petrol has crossed over 100 in various states, as well as the LPG cylinder gas has reached over 850. Sir, even the circumstances which are right now globally faced, which is what is happening in Russia and Ukraine, is going to impact our lives exceptionally, and it's really going to put the economy under a lot of pressure. The retail prices, the Consumer Affairs Department says between 2018 to 2021, I'll just give 2-3 examples. Sir, the cooking oil prices have increased by 67%, palm oil by 61%, moong dal by 44%, urad dal by 54%, tur dal by 49%, and so on. So I request the Honourable Government of India to step in. Anyway, the states are strapped and under a lot of financial pressures. GST money is not coming on time, so our social sector programs are affected. So how does the poor live in this country, sir? Even the Consolidated Fund of India, all the cess that is collected, be it road, be it agri, be it on all these petrols issues, all the cess, we don't even know where the cess goes. It goes to a centralized fund, but it's not necessarily spent only on that issue. So I would like to bring this to the notice of the central government. Please bring the prices down, help the state governments, because people are just recovering from the pandemic. There is a problem with the economy and people are struggling to make ends meet. So we all need to collectively put our minds and discuss this and resolve this and reduce the cess on all these issues.
श्री अब्दुल खालिक जी।
We all are aware of the humanitarian crisis faced in Ukraine because of the war. Many Indians and Indian students are stuck in the hostile war zone for several days. The government could have acted beforehand to warn Indians to leave the country and guard them from Ukraine itself months before the start of the war. Sir, Indian citizens and students had to survive in such environments and had to cross over the neighboring countries on their own. Indian government provided aircrafts to bring back people, but Indians had to risk their lives and cross the borders, find their own means to reach to one of the borders. So in reality, this was not an evacuation from the war zone as being claimed. Sir, having said that the most important part now is what will be the fate of Indian students studying in Ukraine whose future is full of uncertainties. These students are from various batches or years of medical college in Ukraine. Will the government of India bring out a policy whereby these affected students will be accommodated in various medical colleges across the country to complete their remaining medical studies? Having said that, it must also be kept in mind that these students should not be burdened with additional financial burden for completion of the courses. Along with the students, the interns should also be equally placed in various medical colleges and qualification degrees be awarded to them. Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, Chairman, sir. Sir, no, I would like to bring to your knowledge, sir, the number of seats, MD/MS seats, vacant in our country due to very high cutoff score of NEET PG, sir. As per the data available in public domain, in the year of 2020 and 2019, total 4,614 seats and 4,002 of MD/MS seats remained vacant respectively, sir. Sir, the criteria of getting into that PG, MBBS students to qualify is based on 50%. Although cutoff percentage reduces after two rounds of medical counseling, still yet 4,614 MD/MS seats are vacant, sir, in our country, sir. So my request to you, sir, the cutoff, high cutoff score has to be reduced further, sir. Otherwise, we'll be losing a lot of valuable doctors in our country. You know, sir, very well, sir, COVID-19 period, we have struggled for the doctors. So I request through you, sir, Honorable the Health Minister also, to look into that, sir, mainly that, so reduce the cutoff marks. That is the main thing, sir. And my one more submission, sir. All our colleagues are also discussed about that, the students from Ukraine have come back. Actually, in my parliamentary constituency also, a lot of people have come back, sir. Students also, sir. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Y.S. Jagannath Reddy Garu has made a special team for bringing up the students also, sir. And their further continuation is in a question mark only. So they have to be accommodated here also in the Indian medical colleges, especially at what reasonable rates. Otherwise, see why the people students have gone abroad is because the fee is very low there, sir. So this has to be taken into that as an emergency, sir. It's and it has to be considered, sir. Thank you very much.
कट ऑफ के बारे में तो शायद कोई निर्णय हुआ है, कट ऑफ के बारे में कोई निर्णय हुआ है शायद. चलिए,
सरकार की तरफ से स्पष्टीकरण आना चाहिए. इतने सारे सदस्यों ने इस मुद्दे को उठाया है. आज सुबह शिक्षा मंत्री ने बस इतना ही बोला है कि कुछ
सब बात सुनी गई है, वो देंगे जब उचित समझेंगे तब उसका वो ठीक है. आपने बात रखी, ठीक है, ओके ओके. श्री DM कथीर आनंद जी. जी,
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, Vellore city is known for prestigious education and medical institutions, is one of the fastest growing cities in the country and enjoys a unique blend of rich heritage and culture to emerge as a model city. Upcoming defense corridor from Chennai to Bangalore adds more potential value to Vellore. Our Honorable Chief Minister Thru M.K. Stalin, after assuming office in May 2021, has swiftly swung into action, initiated several measures to give an impetus to the smart city and several infra development projects. Sir, the infrastructural and civic needs of the city need to be taken up at the earliest. Power, water, waste disposal are common problems. Vellore is an ancient city town with many monuments and temples. These needs to be developed as a tourist spots. Sir, Vellore is like a bridging city connecting South Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, extending from Vellore, Ambur, Vanimbadi, Valaja, Ranipet and Arcad, and some borders of Tiruvannamalai also. These are dedicated business centers and need civic infrastructure, road and rail connectivity, power, IT connectivity. And also a lot of leather industries and tanning units are also there. Groundwater recharge mechanism has to be built in, needs a great attention. Sir, and also the cost estimated around 4,500 crores is required. In the previous years, Vellore has been selected as one of the model city and money has been 1,000 crores has been put in and still only a 50, not even 25% has been completed in Vellore. Rest of the city has to be also developed. We need infra projects. Therefore, through you, I request the Honorable Minister, Finance Minister and also the Treasury bench to allocate nearly about 4,000 to 4,500 crores for the Vellore city project. And also, sir, I would like to ask through you, sir, from Chennai to Bangalore, if you are on the Nahai highway, whenever if you have any accidents happen on the road, there are no medical institutions on the road because lot of accidents are taking place. Therefore, through you, the need of the hour, I request the Nahai agency to install first aid mechanism on the road, sir. Thank you, sir.
श्री खगेन मुर्मू जी।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय, आपने जो मुझे अपने वक्तव्य को बांग्ला भाषा में रखने का अनुमति प्रदान किया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। माननीय सभापति महोदय, আমি আপনার মাধ্যমে এই পবিত্র সদনে আমার নির্বাচন ক্ষেত্রের ব্যস্ততম মালদা টাউন রেলওয়ে স্টেশন, যেখান থেকে প্রতিদিন চিকিৎসার জন্য, ব্যবসা বাণিজ্যের জন্য এবং ব্যক্তিগত জরুরি কাজে সহস্রাধিক সংখ্যায় মানুষ দিল্লি, বেঙ্গালুরু, চেন্নাই সহ বিভিন্ন ভারতের বিভিন্ন স্থানে দক্ষিণ ভারতের বিভিন্ন স্থানে যাতায়াত করেন। মহোদয়, যাত্রী সংখ্যার তুলনায় মালদা টাউন স্টেশনের উপর দিয়ে যাতায়াতকারী ট্রেনের সংখ্যা ও বরাদ্দ অনুযায়ী আসন সংখ্যা অনেক কম, তাই যাত্রীদের কনফার্ম টিকিট না পাওয়ার ফলে খুবই অসুবিধার সম্মুখীন হতে হচ্ছে। তাই মাননীয় অধ্যক্ষ মহোদয়, আপনার মাধ্যমে রেলওয়ে বিভাগের মাননীয় মন্ত্রীর দৃষ্টি আকর্ষণ করে নিম্নলিখিত প্রস্তাব রাখতে চাই। মহোদয়, আমার প্রথম প্রস্তাব, মালদা টাউন স্টেশন থেকে দিল্লি, চেন্নাই, বেঙ্গালুরু নতুন সুপারফাস্ট প্রিমিয়াম এক্সপ্রেস ট্রেন চালু করা হোক। দ্বিতীয় প্রস্তাব, বন্দে ভারত এক্সপ্রেস ট্রেনের স্টপেজ মালদা টাউন স্টেশনে দেওয়া হোক এবং প্রতিটি শ্রেণীতে কমপক্ষে একটি করে কোচ মালদার জন্য বরাদ্দ করা হোক। এবং তৃতীয় প্রস্তাব, মালদা টাউন স্টেশনের উপর দিয়ে যাতায়াতকারী প্রত্যেকটি দূরপাল্লার ট্রেনগুলিতে বরাদ্দ আসন সংখ্যা বৃদ্ধি করা হোক। ধন্যবাদ মহোদয়।
श्री सुनील बाबूराव मेढे।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से आदरणीय ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय का ध्यान महाराष्ट्र में हो रहे हैं मनरेगा के काम में जो अनुचित प्रकार है उस ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। जहां तक महाराष्ट्र की बात है, करीब 800 करोड़ रुपए की राशि अभी तक के मनरेगा की जो खर्च नहीं हुई है वो उन्हें स्किल काम के ऊपर खर्च करनी है, आवंटित करनी है। मगर जहां तक वो लोग स्थानिक एमएलए को विश्वास में रखते हुए बिना ग्राम पंचायत के ध्यान में लाते हुए डायरेक्टली सभी काम महाराष्ट्र सरकार मंत्रालय की ओर से एक यादी निकालती है और जो एमएलए उनको चाहते हैं उन लोगों को डायरेक्ट वो काम दिए जाते हैं जो अनुचित प्रक्रिया का पालन है। केंद्र सरकार द्वारा अभी तक के जितने भी पैसे 800 करोड़ को भेजे गए हैं उसमें से 25 करोड़ रुपए मेरे जिले में आवंटित हुए हैं, जिन्हें डायरेक्ट बिना प्रक्रिया का पालन करते हुए डायरेक्टली आवंटित हुए हैं। मुझे इसके बारे में आपसे विनती है कि यह पैसा गलत इस्तेमाल होने की आशंका है, इसलिए आदरणीय मंत्रालय से मैं अनुरोध करता हूं कि इसका जो आवंटित है वो रद्द किया जाए और जो प्रक्रिया का पालन होना चाहिए, जो ग्राम पंचायत के माध्यम से आना चाहिए, उस तरह से ही वो पैसा आवंटित किया जाए। आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार सिंगरी आए क्या? नहीं है जी। श्री मरगनी भरत जी, श्री डॉक्टर सुजय राधाकृष्ण जी।
Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak in the Zero Hour on a very important issue which has been pending since last few years. So I represent the Ahmednagar LokSabha constituency, and in my district, which has got an immense religious tourism potential due to holy places such as Shirdi Sai Baba Temple and Shani Shingnapur Temple. Both these places draw a lot of devotees across the world, which have been increasing since the temples have been opened for worship post-COVID. The increase in the number of tourists have resulted in demand for providing better transport connectivity to Shirdi through an intercity train between Shirdi, Ahmednagar and Pune. So the demand of intercity express has been pending for a long time because of limited connectivity by train. The commuters and the tourists have to travel via road, which usually take 5 to 6 hours. And due to this heavy traffic, there is a lot of inconvenience as well. So I would like to request the government through you, sir, to start an intercity train between Shirdi, Ahmednagar and Pune, which will not only benefit tourists travelling to Shirdi, but also provide relief to thousands of working professionals, students, businessmen and citizens who travel on this route frequently for work or educational purposes. Thank you, sir.
Shri Benny Behnanji.
Sir, through this submission, I want to bring the notice of the August House the problem facing by the type 1 diabetic patients and the kidney patients. Sir, approximately there are 2 lakh children in India living with type 1 diabetics. It is an autoimmune disorder characterized by insulin deficiency, resulting from progressive destructions or damage of the insulin-producing beta and of pancreas. High sugar condition, hyperglycemia, and low sugar condition, hypoglycemia, both leads to further complication in the brain, kidney, heart, etc. of a type 1 diabetic child. These children can live only with the help of life-saving devices and medications such as insulin, glucometer strips, lab tests, etc., which are very expensive that even a moderate income family cannot afford. Sir, it is learned that many countries consider type 1 diabetic as a disability and provide special assistance to these children. This is also ensure universal availability of insulin and sugar monitors of children with the type 1 diabetics, and also providing them with a suitable environment outside their homes. According to the statistics available with the Kerala, there are about 2,000 children in my state. Therefore, I urge the government to include these children with the type 1 diabetics in the disability category, and also to provide reservation for all such children in areas of higher studies, along with the possible assistance and relief of these children. Besides, it will be immense help if the mothers of these children are given priority for daily wages work under government scheme, as it will bring the parental relief to the daily struggle to meet the huge expense of the medical treatment of the children. Sir, a similar praised community in our society are those patients with a chronic kidney disease. These patients have to undergo dialysis twice or even thrice in a week, depending on the stage of the disease of each patient. The expense of the dialysis vary depending and number of dialysis required, and it may be up to 30,000 each month. A patient in stage of 5 kidney diseases may even require renal transplantation. Sir, one minute, sir. This is for the poor people. Renal transplantation, which costs rupees 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs. These patients and their family members are facing severe mental pain. So I request the government to include both the type 1 diabetics and the kidney patients in the list of this disability, so they will get the other help. Thank you, sir.
सभा की कार्यवाही आज 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।